What is spiritual freedom? I will start off with a definition of what spiritual freedom is to me. It is the freedom to go anywhere or anywhen in the physical or spiritual worlds and have whatever experience we choose. Although when we get to the more advanced stages of spiritual freedom, we realize that we don't go anywhere at all. Everything is experienced in the eternal now. To start off with, I'd like to tell a story which I came across in researching for this talk. In the Gaelic it is entitled Ballach na Bó Féin, which in English is the way of the white cow, and in astronomical terms, the Milky Way. It concerns a teenager who came over to Ireland on holiday in the 1950s to an aunt in the Beara Peninsula in West Cork. Now, the Beara Peninsula is the home of the O'Sullivan clan, which goes back into the mists of time here in Ireland. While he was there, he began to explore the area and found ruins of a previous castle which had been there. This would have been a stronghold of the O'Sullivan Beara clan. And while he was exploring it, he came in contact with a girl about his own age. She was dressed in a traditional type of costume, such as you might see in the Irish dancers nowadays. But the skirt was down below the knees, which is a different fashion from the current one, which is just below the hips. Anyway, he had a chat with her and asked her to fill him in about the history of the peninsula. So she gave him the history of the peninsula, but she got into other areas besides the history which is of interest to us in spiritual freedom. She said that the ancients believed that soul took the way of the white cow to heaven, and every soul had to travel its own path. You couldn't travel the path of another cow. So this is something which is close to the way that we think in Eckankar ourselves. That each soul walks a unique path back to God. Now, I was born into the Irish Catholic tradition here in Ireland, which I would distinguish from the Roman Catholic tradition, which came to us from the Nazarene via Egypt in the 1st century AD. Now, this is a tradition which went in more for monasticism and contemplation rather than the tradition which became established as the Roman Catholic Church in Rome by Peter and Paul. Eventually this came under the control of the Roman Empire in the time of Constantine became the Roman Catholic religion, which was the official religion of the Roman Empire. Now, coming up closer to the current time, we had recently, in an interview with the founder of La Repubblica in England, a claim that the Pope declared there was no such thing as hell. Now, hell as a tradition goes back to our idea of what it is currently in the line of fire and brimstone, goes back to the medieval times as an invention of the medieval mind, which has no basis in undoctored scriptures. The devil as well is, as we understand him, the horned and hoofed creature, also goes back to the medieval mindset and doesn't have any basis in undoctored scriptures either. So this was the strategy which came into use by the Roman tradition to control the people. So what strategy has this got to do with spiritual freedom, as we like to think of it in Eckankar? It brought in a control factor as a means to control the populace, which was more or less a fiction invented for that purpose. Now, if we come to the point where we don't have the threat of a hell to control the population, what alternative is there to have a life of responsibility? Freedom of responsibility, I would more or less say, is closer to spiritual freedom rather than freedom without responsibility, which is the area that a lot of people like to operate in nowadays. To get back to what would replace the threat of hell, we come to the area of karma and reincarnation. Now, these are two facts in the process of life that were edited out of early Christianity by the church fathers in them times because they didn't suit the agenda which they had.